Now, it's been reported that Russian forces may have shot down one of their own most advanced aircraft near to the front line in Ukraine. Our military analyst, Sean Bell, is here with me in the studio. Talk us through this, Sean.
Yeah, Jonathan, it's interesting. Russia's reported that it's lost an Su-35 flanker, but also lost its pilot as well. Now, Ukrainians claim they shot it down, but then shortly afterwards there were claims, actually reports, that the Russians had actually shot it down. The trouble is both sides used the same former Soviet Union surface-to-air missiles, the S-300 system, so it's actually quite difficult to tell which happened. If we look at the image, though, of the crash site, which is quite illuminating, tells us a little bit more about it, because most jets, when they pile into the landscape, make a big hole. They're going hundreds of miles an hour. If you can look at this image, you can actually still see the front of the aircraft and the wingspan. What that means is this is flat pancaked into the ground. That's consistent with having a tail end or something blown off by a surface-to-air missile, and therefore the thing would have tumbled out of control, probably killed the pilot instantly, and then flat-plated, just fallen like a bunch of keys through the sky. The question, though, really is to why would one of the theories that the Russians shot it down itself? Why would they do that? Well, all I can say is that my first-hand experience of flying in Iraq, when we were dodging the Iraqi air defence systems heading up north to the target, when you were coming back to Kuwait, you were facing this wall of American Patriot missile systems that are protecting Kuwait. And frankly, we were more worried about getting shot down by our own people, because you're not trying to hide from them than you were when you were going forward. So given the fact, if that risk exists with the Americans, with all the high-tech training and everything, out in with Russia, inexperienced soldiers, it wouldn't be a surprise that they shot down their own aircraft.
Yeah, fascinating, Sean. Now, tell me about this meeting between Putin and a former Wagner Group commander.
What's fascinating about the dynamics of this is that Russia has been heavily dependent on mercenary groups throughout its time. The trouble is, of course, Yevgeny Prigozhin marched on Moscow. They disbanded the Wagner Group, but they still need their help. Ever since Bakhmut, which is the only thing they've seized of recent times, Russia's been on the back foot ever since they dissolved Wagner. What the Russian MOD has been hoovering up all of the Wagner troops around, putting them under MOD control, but what they've tried to do is get them under the leader, Andrei Cheskov here, who's a former Wagner commander, because he's got lots of experience, he's got lots of expertise, he's respected in the Wagner Group. But the dynamics are really interesting here, because you go, it wasn't that long ago that President Putin was betrayed by the Wagner Group commander. You can only imagine what the conversation was going on here now that he's... but it just demonstrates just how critical Putin and Russia needs the support of mercenaries. But as ever, when you use mercenaries, it comes at a significant risk.
Yeah, even the body language there is pretty interesting, isn't it? Sean, as always, thank you very much.